eyeing up a spot in the top three. They'll meet a Phoenix side that's down on its luck and desperately seeking something to kickstart their season. Will midweek football spark a change in Phoenix fortunes, or will the Sky Blues continue their charge up the A-League ladder? Welcome to Wednesday evening action in the Isuzu UTE League as Wellington Phoenix play host to Sydney FC, live here on Sky Sport. The closest of friends, but for the next 90 minutes, they are coaching rivals. Ufuk and Giancarlo Italiano have known each other for a very long time. They coached together here in Wellington. Italiano, Tele's successor as head coach. They still speak on a weekly basis. Not this week though, not this week. Here come the two teams, and carrying the match ball, that is 17-year-old Floyd Duncan. He is the son of Phoenix superfan Neil Duncan, who recently lost his battle with cancer. Floyd is wearing a signed Phoenix shirt that was a present from his dad. The fans have turned up. Wellington Phoenix Centurion Paul Eiffel alongside in commentary. When things aren't going well and you're in a bit of a slump, what is the best way to get out of it, Paul?
I think you just want more football, Piney. I think you just want to get back out there. You know, everybody talks about fixing it on the training ground, and I completely understand that. But for me, I wanted another game. Give me another game and let me get things right again. We've got plenty of time to look at the video after that, but let's get back out there.
Well, the games come thick and fast at this time of the year, so Wellington haven't had too much time to reflect on what happened 4 nights ago here. Matt Sheridan, I'm sure, has put the own goal he scored that night behind him. There are two changes to the Phoenix side from that which started the 2-1 loss to Adelaide here. The big one's in goal. A debut for 19-year-old LB Kelly-Heald, joining twin brother Lucas in the starting side, the third set of twins to play together in A-League history. Kazuki Nagasawa also returns in place of Mo Tate. Paulo Retre and Costa Barbarouses line up against one of their former clubs. Ufuk makes just the one change to the side that started the 4-1 win over the Mariners on Saturday night. It's enforced. German midfielder Anis Wahim is injured. He hasn't travelled. His place taken by 20-year-old Adrian Segicic, who became Sydney FC's youngest ever hat-trick scorer 4 nights ago, and the 5th youngest in A-League men's history. Anthony Caceres plays A-League game number 269. He's lost just 7 of 26 previous meetings with Wellington Phoenix. Off the respective benches, potential debuts for 19-year-old Wellington Phoenix midfielder Lachlan Candy and 17-year-old Sydney FC midfielder Joe Lacey. Finn Ruakonchi is also among Wellington's reserves. He last played in the first derby back in round 3. Giancarlo Italiano was a coach with plenty on his mind. His side has lost 5 of their last 6 outings and have won just once here at home all season. Ufuk returns to Wellington for the first time since he departed the club at the end of the 2022-23 season. He was a very popular head coach, guiding the club to playoff football in 3 of his 4 campaigns here. Joe Lolly's the competition's leading goal scorer. He has 8 in 10 games this season. Still searching, though, for his first goal against Wellington, having not found the back of the net in 3 previous matches against the Phoenix. Paulo Retre faces one of his former clubs tonight for the first time in Phoenix colours. The Australian midfielder played 139 games across 6 seasons with the Sky Blues, helping them win 2 A-League championships. Sean Evans is the referee, assisted by Isaac Travis and Gareth Sheehan. Campbell Kirkkawana was the 4th official, and Casey Rybel standing by if required in the VAR booth. Final instructions being given between these two sides. Sydney FC are ready to go. Scott Wootton laying down the law there in the Phoenix huddle. They now break apart. Jogging back towards the goal at the city end, LB Kelly-Heald. Scott Wootton with the armband. hugely experienced, and at the other end of the scale, a debut tonight for 19-year-old LB Kelly Heald out of the Island Bay Club and North Wellington through the Phoenix Academy, and now on A-League debut. Away we go. Under the Wednesday night lights in Wellington, the Phoenix against Sydney FC for the 50th time in A-League men's history. The Sky Blues do have the upper hand historically. 27 wins to Wellington's 16, 6 draws. The Knicks, though, have won 3 of the last 4. And Sydney FC have not won here in Wellington since January of 2019. Two teams, though, with contrasting recent results. Sydney FC, white shirts, blue shorts, attacking the goal to right of screen on a 5-match unbeaten run as LB Kelly Heald gets his first touch as a Phoenix player. The Phoenix all in black today, kicking from left to right as we look. They've lost 5 of their last 6. Great to have Paul Eiffel alongside in commentary. Early in this one, Eifel, you talked about just playing football. LB Kelly Heald, nice and calm at the back there. How's he going to be feeling on A-League debut?
I think after those first 2 touches, fine, Tiny. I was a little worried about him, but nice to get touches early. We see Costa going down the right-hand side here.
Breaking inside Ryan Grant, Costa Barbarouses with an early shot. Inside 70 seconds, Harrison Devonish-Mears, I'm not sure, was sure that was missing.
Yeah, going back to LB there, look, I think 2 nice touches, nice and early, will settle him down. That's what you want. You don't want too much pressure. It was touches under pressure in saying that, and he had to be pretty precise with his passing. But again, I think that's one of the reasons that they've looked to change goalkeeper today. They're pretty comfortable with playing the ball back to him.
Well, he's got lots of familiarity there with his twin brother out to the left. They're the 3rd set of A-League twins. A-League statistician Andy Howe has provided all of the numbers. They're the youngest, and they follow Jordan and Tyler Simpson, who played together at Perth Glory in 2007, and current Wellington Phoenix assistant coach Adam Griffiths and his brother Joel, who've had time together at Newcastle and Sydney FC. So the Kelly Healds, the 3rd in the A-League era, and the youngest, the first ever for Wellington Phoenix. Special day for the family. So Wellington Phoenix, as they have done for much of the season, settling into a bit of a low block, looking to let Sydney FC have it. They're the competition's leading goal scorers, 29, 18 in their last 6 games. Klimala looking to free up Segicic, who's found the ball at his feet. Adrian Segicic, when he didn't look favourite. Caceres, Lolly, the golden boot leader. Back it comes, and wide from Klimala. So, De Jesus down the right-hand side. Klimala with the first effort on goal, wide of Kelly Heald's post.
They're so dangerous in tight spaces. It's, you know, the Phoenix like to play like this. They like to sit off and try and catch teams on the counter-attack. But Sydney will have seen this time and time again, and they've worked on this. Tale will know what was coming, and they'll be hard at work on this in the week. So you can see it early on. They're not worried about what they're going to see in front of them today.
5 goals in 10 games so far this season for the Pole, Patrick Klimala. LB Kelly Heald decides that he'll drive this one up over halfway. Corbin Piper with a combative win in the air. Nagasawa ahead to Barbarouses, can't quite get it out from under his feet. And Senna takes it away. Little clip of the heels from Costa Barbarouses against one of his former clubs, Sydney FC. Played with the likes of Ryan Grant, Andrew Redmayne, who's on Sydney's bench. A rare midweek game of football for the fans here to enjoy. Sam Sutton didn't quite get that one right. Kelly Heald tidies up, and the Phoenix, for the most part, look as though they're reasonably comfortable in possession. Having said that, though, that one's given up by Kelly Heald. Nagasawa picks it up. Interesting little change here. Sam Sutton looks very much like the left back, and Lucas Kelly Heald's in midfield. Yeah,
it does look like that. He's much higher up today. I don't know if that's formation or he's been caught out of position. I'll keep an eye on that one, Brian. So on Saturday night,
The left side of Wellington's defence was reinforced with both Kelly Heald, that's Lucas, and Sam Sutton tried to negate the threat of Dylan Parias down Adelaide's right that night. Tonight it's Zach de Jesus who will look to raid from Sydney's right back position.
Yeah, certainly a swap time. Sutton's definitely in the left back spot, and Kelly Heald one up, which we talked about at the weekend in the show. That could be something that Chiefy looked to do.
Chance now perhaps for Matt Sheridan and Corb Piper to combine down the right. There wasn't a heck of a lot of room there for that to happen. You see Giancarlo Italiano issuing instructions from his technical area, bottom of screen. Shiga with his first touch, he couldn't quite find a teammate. There's Harrison Devonish-Mears, who's taken the top goalkeeping spot at the moment. Now Shiga might have half a chance here. Holman got back and snuffed out any danger. You just feel as though for Wellington's luck to change, it might just take a bit of luck, a ball that bounces in their favour. A small error perhaps from an opposing defender. Here's Joe Lolly, 8 goals this season already for the Englishman. Scrambling back to win possession back. Ryan Grant captaining the side from centre back tonight. Now a chance for Joel King to look up. Slides it in, Sekic. I'm not sure that was meant for him. He's going to do his best to keep it going, and one's gone behind for what will be the first corner. Joel King, I wonder whether he was actually looking for Klimala with that pass.
I think he was. I think Sekic just took the chance to see if he could get something on it and get a little twist in, a little turn in, and try and get his shot off. It was actually good defending in the end.
So first corner of the contest. It's about this time that the Phoenix have been most vulnerable recently, the 7th minute. They've conceded 3 times in the 7th minute as Joel King fires one in. Just about got them a 4th goal in the 7th minute there, Ife.
Yeah, a little bit too easy. The ball's been played out, a couple of passes been made, and there's nobody putting pressure on the ball, and you let that happen too often. One's going to fly in the back of your net. They should be looking to try and look after the young goalkeeper, and I think Chiefy's telling them that exactly what I'm talking about right now. Get out there, get some pressure on that ball.
There's Albert Kelly Heald. He looks pretty assured and drills that one long. He was inspired to take up goalkeeping by former Wellington Phoenix custodian Mark Paston. He watched Mark Paston play for Wellington Phoenix and the All Whites with some distinction and thought, I'll give that a try, and that's how he became a goalkeeper. Seems to be right-footed compared to Lucas Kelly Heald, who's left-footed.
Yeah, he's pretty comfy off both feet, to be Piney. To be fair, Piney.
Leo Senna has gone down here and stayed down for the meantime. Back on his feet now. Free kick, though, coming the way of Sydney FC. So free kick coming the way of Sydney FC. Leo Senna looks to be okay. Lolly's gone back to be part of the delivery team here and will deliver. It's quite narrow. Away by Wharton. Barbarousis battling with Lolly. So to Rattray. So the Phoenix have conceded 5 goals inside the first 15 minutes this season, and 4 inside the first 7 minutes in the last 5 games. So they've negotiated their way past that. Holman. Sekic can't quite find room for the shot. The youngster. Again, it's cleared. There's Senna again. into Klamala. Couldn't quite trap it. Nagasawa. Chance for Piper perhaps to stretch the legs down the right-hand side. Couldn't quite get the ball in.
I think you can see there from the last two Phoenix possessions, when they win the ball back, it's really important that it sticks. You've had Costa trying to get it under control, losing it, not enough bodies around him. Then Corbin Piper on the right-hand side there, he's having to do it all on his own. So if you're going to play like this, you've got to get support to the furthest player forward as quickly as possible.
So as we take past 10 minutes, Yellow Fever paying tribute to the now departed owner of the club's number 10 jersey, David Ball. Ending his time at the club earlier this week, his contract terminated by mutual consent after 5.5 seasons. Segicic, forced wide. All the way over this side and out for what will be a throw on the field. David Ball, tireless, selfless, fearless, had the rare ability to make everybody around him better. Off the field, his influence inside the playing group unmatched, particularly with the younger players who often needed some advice, an arm around their shoulders or a willing ear. David Ball always gave that to them. 124 games for Wellington, the most by any import, and he leaves a Phoenix legend. Barbarouses looking to free up Piper. He's charging down the right-hand side. Retray, nice incisive pass into Barbarouses. Sydney clear their lines. Let's take a sideline where Jacob Spoonley is watching on. We talk about the energy of games. Jacob, whose favour does the energy seem to be in?
Well, at the moment, it's directed towards David Ball. Yellow Fever standing in salute of David Ball, who is behind Albie Kelly-Hield's goal. To be honest, Piney, this has been a bright start for both sides, particularly in that midfield. We can hear Ufitele sideline asking Caceres to get up alongside Segicic and behind Klamala, but the Phoenix are matching it at the moment, albeit that fragility is still around the side, and I think Tully can sense that. If Sydney can get an early goal, and to your point, repeat getting that foothold into a game, it's going to ask questions again of whether the Knicks can come back into matches.
Cheers, Spooners. I guess the converse of that is holding out for 15 minutes and then half an hour and then getting to half-time without conceding.
Yeah, look, from my playing days, we used to be the same when we were in bad patches, especially defensively, working sort of 10-minute blocks. See if you can get through 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, all of a sudden you're half an hour, right, can we get through the half-time? And the way the Phoenix have started this, they look much brighter, much more of a threat as well on the break. And like I said, if they can actually start getting some support underneath Costa and Ashige and stringing some passes together further up the field, I think Sydney are there, not for the taking, but I think there's certainly going to be chances for Costa and Ashige tonight.
Nagasawa restored to the starting 11 after sitting out, or certainly not starting against Adelaide. He's back, the Japanese midfielder. Yeah, Albie Kelly-Hield has looked very assured with ball at feet. Doesn't seem to be panicked or rushed. Very calm, and you talked pre-game, Ivy, about how about the way that Giancarlo Italiano wants his teams to play, and the goalkeeper with the ball at feet is a big part of that. Yeah,
absolutely. I think if you look at Albie's brother, his demeanour's always been pretty cool, calm and collected. So it obviously runs in the family, which is great. And I think he started this game as if he's played 20, 30 games. There's nothing to bother to him at the moment. Hopefully, for his sake, that continues.
Nagasawa looks to free up Piper again. Can he get there ahead of King? Good robust play by Corbin Piper. Pulls it back to Barbarouses. Here's Costa. That looked like it might have been goal bound. Costa Barbarouses, of course, sitting on the cusp of that major milestone, 100 A-League men's goals. Good to see Sam Sutton recovering from the illness that forced him off at half-time against Adelaide. Still awaiting the return of Alex Rufer from his bout of illness, and that's onto the right foot of Costa Barbarouses. It hits to go for Piper. Looks to pull it back. Too many bodies in the area for Wellington. There are now. Ashige. Can he find room? Ashige. Straight at Devonish Mears. No power. And Harrison Devonish-Mears untroubled on that occasion.
Yeah, that was a great ball from Wood. I think he was looking for Costa, but Corbin Piper's read the scripts and he's got on the end of it, but I think you need more bodies in the box. It wasn't a terrible pass, but if you've got 3 or 4 bodies in the box, it might just fall to somebody making a later run, and I don't think the Phoenix had that on that occasion.
Yeah, already it feels different from Wellington compared to the first 15 minutes against Adelaide. A lot more intent. Still the possession game that's at the bedrock of Giancarlo Italiano's playbook. A lot more happening in the opposition half. Sutton, Kelly Hield alongside. Over towards Piper. King gets it away with the sun in his eyes. Retro gave it away initially, but then one possession back. Doubleheader tonight for Sydney FC fans. Women's team hosting Canberra United immediately following this game at Leichhardt Oval. We welcome you in, Sydney FC fans watching from Australia, New South Wales in particular. A win tonight for Sydney FC would take them into the top 3. Costa Barbaroushas just dropping off the line, trying to link up play. Ashiga, quick turn into space. Can he find a pass? Knows the answer is. He comes together with Corey Holman, who's stayed down momentarily. Just inquiring of the referee whether there might have been something untoward there.
Yeah, Shiga definitely catches him now. I don't think there was any malice at all, but he certainly catches him.
So there are the last 5 meetings between the two. In Wellington, that is. So wins in the last 2. That last one was actually at Eden Park in Auckland, but a home game. So you have to go back to 2018-19 to find the last time Sydney FC won a game of football here in Wellington, or on this side of the Tasman, full stop. Good night for football too. We get used to all sorts of conditions here in Wellington during the so-called summer months, but it's a beautiful night for it. Jacob Spoonley can probably tell us more about weather conditions when this attack breaks down. Lolly. Bit too much on that one, too close to Kelly Hield. Nice evening pitch side, Jacob.
I don't know what I think complains about being sidelined, Piney. But look, in terms of the way the Phoenix have set out today, the noticeable change is Lucas Kelly-Hield playing as a left winger, and he is joined on the right-hand side by Corbin Piper. There's physicality out there, and I think that's what the Phoenix are looking for. They're looking for an outlet at times. Build up centrally, but as the press comes from Sydney, can they go long into either that man or Corbin Piper down the right?
Lucas Kelly-Hield not quite able to grab that one. Lolly is Caceres ahead of him, and inside Klamala can't find them. And again, it's with Holman. Good tackle by Hughes, and instead of free kick against Corey Holman, it seems to be in a different position, maybe an earlier challenge.
Maybe it got clipped on the way through. I didn't quite see that. It was a great challenge from Hughes in the end. It had to be made. If he gets a touch around him there, he's in.
Not quite sure what the free kick was for in Wellington's favour there.
think the referee maybe thought he just left the foot in on the follow-through.
So there's the story of which side Wellington are attacking down. It's almost exclusively down the right-hand side. So Sam Sutton has really not left his left-back position much at all. I remember him crossing halfway once. That's pretty much it. He is well known as an attacking threat. Here's Lolly. Caceres wraps his foot around that one into the penalty area, away by Hughes to Jesus. So Wellington enjoying slightly greater possession in the first 20 minutes here. Quite happy to let Sydney FC have it in and around halfway before they start putting pressure on the ball, as Ashiga is now on centre. Nice ball into Caceres, on towards Klimala. He can't wrap his foot around it. Isaac Hughes stride for stride. Just a half chance there for Patrick Klimala.
Yeah, look, great movement from Klimala here. He's got the defender where he wants him. Ball played sort of down the side. And if you watch this little flick, it's a great ball with the outside of the boot. It's a great run, and thankfully Hughes was quick enough to just get enough pressure on and narrow that angle. Exactly what you want when Albie Kelly-Hill's making his debut.
Lovely flick from Caceres. Been around for a long time now, Anthony Caceres. 269th A-League match tonight. th A-League season for him, his 7th at Sydney FC. Corbin Piper again putting himself about down the right-hand side. Nagasawa picks it up. And Matt Sheridan there. Just feeling the effects of a late challenge there from Segicic.
That's one I used to hate, Piney, because as a forward, you just think you can just get a little toe on it, and you're hoping he doesn't duck his head down. He ducks his head down, and you get a yellow card. I didn't get many, but I used to get a lot like that.
It's a yellow card for Adrian Segicic. Matt Sheridan looking okay. 4th yellow card of the season for Adrian Segicic, so just one away from triggering the automatic one-game ban. So we've reached the midway point of the first half, and the game's got a good feel to it, a good energy. Conditions close to perfect here on Wednesday night in Wellington. There's Sam Sutton now with a bit of attacking impetus. Kelly Heald and Sutton looking to combine. The pass back is good. Sam Sutton wraps his foot around it, and Hayden Matthews gets a vital header. It'll go behind for a corner. Costa Barbarouses lurking behind. Hayden Matthews had to intervene.
Yeah, look, really like that build-up down the left-hand side there. Sam Sutton taking his time. He plays the ball to Kelly Heald and continues his run. It's a great weight of pass. And then look, the numbers in the box. It's 3v3. He's got to try and pick somebody out. It's not a bad ball at all, and you had Corbin Piper in a great position.
So 5 of Wellington's 13 goals this season have come from set pieces, 2 indirect free kicks, 2 from corners, and a direct free kick. Ashiga would normally take, but Sam Sutton's gone across to address this one. He bends it in towards the 6-yard area, away by Klimala. Sam Sutton's going to get another go at this one. Slightly different angle. Can't get past Matthews, and there's a man down in Sydney FC's penalty area. So referee Sean Evans is going to stop proceedings just to make sure that Corbin Piper is okay.
Looks like he got a little whack around the ear there. I was watching it as it was going in. They were having a little bit of a wrestle. Bit of two in and throw in. Oh, he's all over his back there, blimey.
Yeah,
Probably not enough, Piney, but I'd be certainly asking for it.
Spoken like a true striker. Not quite sure what Ufuk Talay was blowing up about, but he was unhappy that the referee stopped the game when Sydney were in possession by the sounds of things, so that was the reason for his frustration.
I think it had to be stopped by the referee there. I think there's a good chance that there was a head clash. He only saw it at sort of match pace, and he's got to make a quick decision there.
It's a fairly easy one for him to adjudicate on as Corbin Piper comes through the back of Joel King in no uncertain terms.
A little bit of retribution, I think, there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Corbin Piper's got any complaint to have there. Brett Drake, clever, into a gap, good ball to Ishiga. Ryan Grant trying to keep up and does really well. Ryan Grant stretching the legs and snuffing out any danger initially. Wellington want to get going quickly, but Caceres in the way.
I think it's a good route for the Phoenix if they can get down the sides and get people like Ryan Grant in positions they don't want to be in. I know he was a former fullback, but he playing centre-back today. He doesn't want to be out in those wide positions defending. He wants to keep himself as narrow as possible, but there's a definite route to goal down there if they can exploit that.
Well, the graphic we saw before saw that they'd hardly used the left-hand side Wellington at all, had they? They've addressed that in the last couple of attacks, and when the likes of Sutton, Lucas Kelly-Heald, Ishiga have combined, it's looked good. So Wellington pegged back, and Lolly looking to put a bit of pressure on his countryman Scott Wotton. Sutton blasts past Holman and then is taken out by De Jesus.
Nearly 27 minutes into the game, Piney. I just think as a back five, they just look so much more comfortable today. They seem to have more time, a little bit more confidence in the ball. The swap with Sutton and Kelly-Heald looks to have worked so far as well.
There is Lucas Kelly-Heald. The 1-2 with Ishiga. Clever bit of footwork from Lucas Kelly-Heald, and he charges forward into Sydney FC territory, looking for friends. Gets help from Ishiga. That's something we haven't seen a lot of from Lucas Kelly-Heald in his career at Wellington, is using his physique to really charge past defenders and set things up. It's given away by Hughes, and here's a chance now for Sydney FC with Lolly. Joe Lolly, and it's deflected behind for a corner. I think Adrian Segicic was begging for the ball over on the left-hand side. Corner results.
Yeah, look, I talked about Joe Lolly in the pre-match, and he normally makes the right decision, but I think here he's got to slide him in. One touch, slide him in there, and it's probably a goal with the sort of form that Segicic is in. I think Isaac Hughes again has had another slip. Really lucky to get away with that one.
So corner for Sydney. Lolly to take. Delivery is good towards the far post, but cleared. And then Joel King on the volley. Doesn't get a lot of goals. Joel King, just 3 in 106 games. Didn't mind the look of that one.
Yeah, it's not a bad header, clear to the edge of the box. If he scores from there, you'd have to clap that one. He was a little bit off balance when he's tried to take it on.
Hasn't scored a goal since the semi-final against the Mariners last season. So our graphic, as we approach the half-hour mark, you can see no saves to make for either goalkeeper yet. Here's Lolly again, or rather Segicic this time. King. Matthews and Grant, the centre-back pairing for Sydney FC. Grabs on Hayden Matthews. young centre-back with a big future. Ryan Grant, one of very few A-League triple centurions. Game 304 tonight for him. All in Sydney FC colours. Drives one out towards Lolly on the right. And no touch from either player. So Wellington doing a good job in the first half hour as we took over the 30-minute mark of keeping their debutant goalkeeper protected. Matthews goes back to Devonish Mears, who is just as calm with his feet. Wonder perhaps whether that's the reason he's been preferred to the veteran Andrew Redmayne by Ufuk Talay. Harrison Devonish Mears, Sydney-born, went through the US college system with the South Florida Bulls, had time in Romania, back in his hometown. Sent off on debut, actually, but reinstated to the side and has held on to it ever since. Senna looking to set something up for Sydney FC. Segicic. Quick feet into Caceres, and then Klimala cleared by Wellington, but not all the way clear. Lolly looking to recycle to Jesus. Lolly. I'll try the left-hand side again through King. No way forward there. Senna. Given away, and Wellington's patience pays off, but Sam Sutton immediately gives it up. It's not Joe Lolly. He plays in a wide position, doesn't he, for a guy who's got 8 goals to actually be a winger rather than a centre-forward. It's pretty prolific, isn't it?
I think it's fantastic, but I think if you actually watch, he's quite happy to go. Well, he's probably allowed. I think Talay allows him to go wherever he likes, and he does start out in the wide position, but he just drifts in, goes and picks it up where he wants, and little 1-2s inside. He's never one to stand still and watch his pass.
Yeah, here he is now on the ball, proving your point as he goes into the centre-forward position. Here's Caceres. Thought about shooting, hangs it up at the far post. Wellington get it clear only as far as Klimala. Great save by Elby Kelly-Heald. His first save chalked up in the A-League. He'll be very happy about that one. Came at him fast, had to beat it away.
I'll let him be really pleased with that. It's one that he should save, and he'll know that, but to be able to get your gloves on it and see it go away on your debut, brilliant for him.
He might have some more work to do here as Sydney come again. King can't find Segicic with the pass, but does get the ball back. Segicic again, relishing a start. Full of confidence after a hat-trick off the bench the other night against the Mariners. Into Klimala! Another good save by Kelly-Heald. He's been in the action a couple of times in the last couple of minutes. Standing tall, the debutant.
But the first one he should save. The second one I think is a bit more difficult. It's down low. He's a big fella. It's a very good save, that. He's hit it on the turn. He's not sure where it's going to go, and he's got to make a decision quickly.
Corner quickly taken by the visitors. Helped into a crowded penalty area, away by Hughes. Caceres. Lolly's come wide again. Less favoured right foot with the cross, but he picks it up again. Joe Lolly trying to get on the left. Here's Joe Lolly. It's under his feet. Can he get it out? He can too. Segicic deflected, up and over. Corner coming. Sydney FC starting to pile on a bit of pressure.
Again, that's where you see the best of Joe Lolly. He's willing to come inside. He's looking for that 1-2. Gets it caught under his feet, but still, even under 3 men, he still manages to find Segicic. And the deflection probably saves the Phoenix there, because looking like if that was on target, there's a good chance of that going in the bottom corner there.
Another corner quickly taken. Elby Kelly-Hill can't hold on to it. Hacked away by Sheridan. So no harm done. Yeah, Joe Lolly, third season at Sydney FC, player of the season for them last season. So just on 10 minutes, plus stoppages to go, and a closely fought first half. Elby Kelly-Hill has made 2 saves in the last little while. Nothing as far as a save is concerned yet for Harrison Devonish-Mears. Ryan Grant into Caceres. Looking to create something down Sydney's left. Very much that free roll that Anthony Caceres enjoys. And towards the penalty arc, it's going to fall for Segicic. He can't get the shot away. Adrian Segicic, and fell to him in a handy position. Wellington looked to had a rare period of possession in Sydney's half, but ball taken away from them. They're soaking it up though. Jacob Spoonley, a sideline for us. We'll come to you in a sec, Jacob, when we've got a quieter moment. We probably can do now. Wellington just sitting, soaking it up.
They are, Piney, and if you keep an eye on Nagasawa and Rattray, they're wanting to get out and put pressure on Senna and Holman, but if they do, that's when Segicic steps in, and he's been particularly prominent just in front of the Wellington Phoenix backline. Important 10 minutes for the Phoenix now, Piney, but they are being bolstered by the performance of Elby Kelly-Hill. After those first important touches that Ifey noted, he's come up with some big saves.
Segicic, suggestion of a push, not given, little nutmeg. Segicic deflected behind for a corner. Adrian Segicic causing headaches for Wellington's rear guard.
Just probably too strong there. There was maybe clip the heels, but I like the runs he makes. He's always willing to go beyond. If he can't get it beyond, he'll drop short to get it in that sort of 10 position. He's really hard for the Phoenix to get hold of, and he picks up positions on the left-hand side. He's happy to go down the middle. Very, very difficult, because he's not just staying on Sheridan. Sometimes he comes in inside on Hughes. Sometimes he drops off. So, big fan of his movement.
Leo Senna to take this corner. It's crowded in there. Piper does get it away. Only as far as Caceres. King. Rattray puts the big right boot to it and clears Wellington's lines. Sydney FC haven't been big first half goal scorers. 21 of their 29 goals have come in the second half. So this is not unusual for them to not be as prolific in the first half. They come again though through Segicic. Away by Hughes. Wellington negotiated okay. There's less happening in the attacking third for Wellington than there was perhaps earlier on. Barbarouses though is going to win this back off Ryan Grant. And Piper can't keep it in. So not as much happening in the attacking third for Wellington in the last, say, 20 minutes.
Yeah, again, it's so difficult, because you're waiting up there, you're waiting and waiting, and you're hoping the ball gets to you, but when it does get to you, you've got nobodies around you. We can't get anybody underneath quickly enough, and I think that's the difficulty for the moment. Costa's having to take 4, 5, 6 touches to keep it under control and try and bring others into play. They need to get there closer, so it's 1 and 2 touch, and he can try and link up a little better.
Lolly helps it on towards Caceres. Wharton back to Kelly-Hill, who just about paid for a heavy touch. It's going to go... No, it's not going to go behind, because Sam Sutton's going to belt it out. Probably the first nervous moment, really, for Elby Kelly-Hill in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think Scott Wharton's helped him here. I think he's bounced one into him. He's had to sort of take it, try to take it with his studs. It's sprang off the studs and put him under a bit of pressure there.
Sydney FC come again to Jesus. Can't get past Sam Sutton, who's been really good at left back in the first half out. Sam Sutton striding out and bring the ball away. Little shove on Corey Holman as he ran past him. You can see there the crowd wanted the forward pass, didn't they? Rather than the more conservative approach.
Yeah, look, it's difficult because, again, if you've not had possession for a while, sometimes you just want to keep it, get a touch of the ball again. We've given it, or the Phoenix have given it away too many times, trying to go direct. It's not always on, and sometimes you need to make that extra pass and get more bodies up the pitch.
Sydney FC have dropped in, everyone behind the ball for the Sky Blues right now, and they will win possession back. Ufuk-Talay, bottom of screen, directing traffic in his technical area as they try and pass it out and do it pretty efficiently. Scotty Wootton wins it back for his side. Retray. Game just at walking pace at the moment as Wellington size up their options. Sheridan. So as you say, Ify, it's a period of possession, regardless of where it is, can build confidence in a side.
Yeah, look, sometimes you just need touches. If you haven't had a touch for a while, get some touches, get back on the ball, move the opposition around.
Lovely ball to Sheridan, pulls it back to Ashiga. Hideki Ashiga into the back of Ryan Grant. On target from Hideki Ashiga, but Devonish Mears not having to make a save. Matt Sheridan again, and Hayden Matthews slices it up over his own crossbar, corner for Wellington.
Yeah, so a little bit of possession, we've just been talking about it, you get a little bit of possession, it means that when he does go that's Acosta, he can pick a pass. He picks a great pass, and then the second pass from wide goes into Ashiga. It's a decent shot, to be fair. On another day, that might hit somebody and go in, but a little better there from the Phoenix.
And another corner there, second. Again, Sam Sutton's going to line it up. Good numbers forward for Wellington in and around Sydney FC's penalty area. There's the delivery from Sam Sutton, near post, it's good. Flick, in and up and over from Devonish Mears. He has had to make a save there now. Just going to identify the header of the ball there. Might have been Isaac Hughes.
It's actually really good movement from Hughes there, making a near post run. It was probably a little bit under hit, but he's done well to get something on it, and he had to pull up a very good save.
So another corner results. Again, Sutton towards the near post. Not cleared by Sydney initially, but now they'll get it away.
Just looking at those last two deliveries, Pine, I think it's actually something they must have worked on, because he's hit him in exactly the same spot, and Hughes is making the same run.
Lucas Kelly-Hill thought he was fouled there. Referee in close attendance. And Paulo Retray sliding in and annoyed with himself that he couldn't stop the ball from going out.
I think he committed so early to the sliding tackle and then realised there was nobody there to go to tackle with, and realised that he could have stayed on his feet and probably played the pass.
So possession pretty even. More attempts for Sydney FC in this first half. A couple of big saves from LB Kelly-Hill. He might be called into action here again with Klamala. Sliding tackle from Isaac Hughes. That's okay too, says the referee. And Wellington might be able to counter-attack there through Costa Barbarouses. Corbin Piper is in the penalty area. Ashiga just outside. Costa Barbarouses looking for an opening. And it doesn't come his way. And now Sydney FC might break as we approach the final minute of the first half. Joel King, he's got some space to run into. Again, Sydney FC happy to be patient. Senna into the arc and can't get the shot away. Lolly, it's popped up on the left-hand side now. Can't imagine there'll be too many added minutes. Maybe just the one to be added. I can't recall any real stoppages in play. Is there a final chance in the first half for either side? Might come courtesy of that pass, which Joel King has only just kept in but hasn't retained. Confirmation of 1 extra minute. Corbin Piper's gone down. Referee wants play to go on for the meantime, does he? Or has he blown it up? He's blown it up. It's Giancarlo Italiano having a chat to fourth official Campbell Kirk-Kawana-War. I'm sure you have to read lips particularly well to get the gist of that.
Yeah, I don't think he was too pleased.
I think it's also in reference to the Corey Holman challenge that happened moments ago and got the ire of the Yellow Fever. Challenges coming in from Sydney FC in the last few moments. Piney.
Thanks, Jake. As we are in the final stages of the first half, is there one final attack? Doesn't look like it. It'll be Kelly Hill, no doubt, will just put his foot into this one and out towards the left. We've had the extra 1 minute. Sean Evans with a quick check of the watch. Free kick coming the way of Wellington. That might be it for the first half. And before Wellington can take the free kick, referee Sean Evans decides that the first half will come to a close. A battle for Wellington. They've been on the back foot a little bit. Slim pickings up top for Costa Barbarouses. Corbin Piper has been in a battle, and Elby Kelly-Heald on debut has made a couple of big saves and kept a first half clean sheet. As we go to the sheds at half-time here at Sky Stadium, it's goalless between the Wellington Phoenix and Sydney FC.
faithful showing their appreciation for that man, David Ball, a legend of the club, who is now departing by mutual agreement with the Phoenix. But to tell you what, for the fans, doesn't make it any easier as they farewell a man who has meant so much to them for many years and has scored many goals across many appearances. So an emotional week, no doubt, for David Ball and for the fans. It's here at Sky Stadium. Well, the Phoenix fans, they've also been looking for a little bit of a spark, Jacob. Have we started to see maybe some early signs of it in this half?
Well, look, I think the game started off really brightly. You could see the ball speed, you could see the intensity from both sides. I've got to say it's been led by those off the pitch, with Tale and Chiefy going right at it. But I think that's the response that the Phoenix fans were looking for. More energy, much more combative, and we're starting to see decisive action being taken where potentially it was more passive last week.
0-0 is the scoreline as things stand at the moment. Let's take a look, though, at your halftime stats. They do tell a bit of a story as ever. Sydney FC, look, when you look at those stats, they do look dominant.
They are dominant, and I think they're dominant across the board. What I would say as well, it's noticeable the ball speed that Sydney FC are moving across the width of the field and through the Phoenix at times, particularly in the midfield. Retre and Nagasawa are looking to push out. That means that of those 306 passes, I reckon Sydney are probably moving it at an accelerated rate compared to the Phoenix at times, which perhaps are lacking the intention of the Sky Blues.
A little bit frustrated, do you think Sydney might be, considering they've come here? The Phoenix have been on a bit of a slide, they've been on the up, they've been dominant, and yet still the score, the most important stat of all, remains 0-0.
I think what Piney said at halftime remains true, though. Sydney are a side that score in the second half. So frustrated, yes, particularly when you look at Ufuk Tale on the sideline, but they are a team that know that they've got the firepower to go out and deploy that against the Phoenix in the second half.
Well, the Phoenix are trying to find that firepower at the moment. They have had some moments, Spooners, through this first half.
They have, and I think it's largely been defined by what's happening out wide. You can see very clear intention. Corbin Piper's playing high and wide down the right, Lucas Kelly-Heald high and wide down the left. And what we're seeing is them being used as an outlet. What we've seen in the first half is the physicality and power of Piper again down the right-hand side. Now, this was a big chance for the Wellington Phoenix. In actual fact, corners have been a bit of a powder keg. We can hear Adam Griffiths and Giancarlo Italiano tell Sean Evans and Campbell Kirk-Kawana-War that they need to keep an eye on Ryan Grant because he is all over Corbin Piper.
When it comes to, as well, one of the big talking points of this match, that is, of course, Albie Kelly-Heald, the 19-year-old, making his A-League debut in goal. You're a former goalkeeper. What are your thoughts?
Well, look, he would have started the match. I think positive nerves is the way I would describe it. He wants to be nervous, he wants to be up for this one, but not overwhelmed, and we haven't seen that from the young goalkeeper. This is really important. This happened inside the first 2 minutes. A couple of early touches. Albie Kelly-Heald, really decisive. He's moving the ball from side to side. He's looking for the short passes, which is what Giancarlo Italiano wants. He's equally happy to go long into those big physical outlets, one of them being his twin brother. It's capped off by some big saves which have kept the Phoenix in this game. Equally, he's not going to be outpowered and is quite happy to get involved in those physical altercations. Scott Wooden has not helped him at all. There's a bouncing back
Great, I can't wait to talk to the skipper after this and put that to him.
There's a generation of those in our audience that'll be saying, put your laces through it, son, but that's not how the modern game is played.
When it comes to the Sydney side as well, look, we pointed him out at the start of the match, or in the pre-match rather, Adrian Segacic. We'll put the yellow card aside, otherwise he has been in some very good form.
Yeah, he's been very lively, and this is a player that's off contract at the end of the year. So not only are his 5 goals so far this season notable in that context, but he's played really well inside this first 45 minutes. What's happening is Retre and Nagasawa are stepping out, and then Caceres, and in particular Segacic, are being given a lot of room to operate in front of the defensive unit. Now, if you're looking for a route to goal, Joe Lolly is your obvious one. He actually combines well with Segacic here, but don't go beyond Adrian Segacic scoring in the second half. He's the player that has looked most likely for Ufuk Tale.
Well, as we come back onto the field at half-time, we are also now seeing a bit of a tribute to, yes, that man again, David Ball. He's out on the field with his family and having a chat at the moment with the fans who, as you can see, are noting their appreciation for him. I mean, it must be such a bittersweet moment in some ways, Spooners.
It is. He has invested a lot into this club. he is somebody that's going to be talked about in the same vein as Paul Ifill and Chris Greenacre when we look at those imports that have impacted the Wellington Phoenix. In particular, he leaves behind a legacy. I don't think you get Libby Kakache, Finn Sermon, Ben Old and Ben Wayne without David Ball's impact and his guidance on their career.
Right, if you're David Ball then at the moment and you're wanting the Knicks to get ahead in this second half and to win this game, what are you saying to them? What are you saying to motivate them?
More of the same, which is probably not as motivating as what you're going for, Kim. But I think the Phoenix are showing, they're demonstrating the combativeness. This is exactly the sort of foundational piece that Chiefy's going to want to rebuild this season. They need to turn around 5 losses in 6 games. It's not always going to be exciting, but if they can keep it settled and stable, that's going to be the key to getting a result here today.
Well, they'll certainly be looking for that, no doubt. Plenty other action as well here on Sky Sport for your viewing pleasure. The Australian Open, well, it's delivered a dramatic first few days, hasn't it? And as we enter week 2, the stakes only rise. You don't want to miss any of the action that is on Sky Sport. We've also got Auckland FC. They're up against Melbourne City on Saturday. Yes, that mouth-watering A-League encounter awaits top of the table City heading to Auckland. What a test this will be for the Black Knights. We'll have all the drama live with build-up from 4:30. And the NFL playoffs continue. NFL wildcard round delivered some thrilling matchups. Now only 8 teams remain with a shot at making the Super Bowl. Catch the first match of the divisional round, the Chiefs versus the Texans. That is on Sunday on ESPN. Well, it has been a fascinating first half here at Sky Stadium. The fans, they are in full voice at the moment, celebrating one of their club's stalwarts. What would it mean to him, for his old side now, to get a win in his honour? It is 0-0 here in Wellington.
Welcome back to Sky Stadium. Second half about to get underway. News of a substitution for Wellington Phoenix, a concussion substitution, we're told, where Matt Sheridan will be replaced by Nathan Walker, getting his final instructions from Giancarlo Italiano. This will be really interesting to see what they do formation-wise. Paul Eiffel, maybe Corbin Piper dropping into the right-back role. Yeah, look, I'm looking at him running out onto the pitch, and Piper's having a stretch and doing his bits and pieces down in the right-back spot at the moment, so it does look like that's going to be the case. Walker can come on higher up the pitch where he's usually employed. So there's Nathan Walker into the action. He's played a pretty significant role for Wellington Phoenix this season in terms of his appearances and his input. His 11th appearance, 9 of those off the bench. Sydney FC unchanged for now. There'll be Kelly Heald, will be happy with his first half, I'm sure. Unbreached for now, keeping out Joe Lolly and others. Joe Lolly now 3.5 games against Wellington without scoring. Second half underway, Sydney FC, white shirts, blue shorts, white socks, attacking the goal to left of screen in the second half. Wellington Phoenix in the dark strip tonight, heading back towards the city end, the southern end, the yellow fever end of Sky Stadium in the second half. So they were able to hold out Sydney FC's various attacks in the first half. Sydney FC certainly on the stat sheet had more attacking opportunities as Lucas Kelly-Hill looks to bring this one out. Rebounds in field to Ashiga. So there's Corbin Piper in the right-back role now. Very much an all-purpose footballer. Corbin Piper can play in any position, really. Right-back is his latest assignment. Nagasawa doing well to hold on to the football there and cleared up field. Nathan Walker trying to get involved early. A little bit sloppy early in the second half. Nobody seems really able to get their foot on the ball. Mentioned one of the possibilities, I feel, when we heard that Matt Sheridan was coming off was Sam Sutton coming across to right back, but clearly Giancarlo Italiano has decided he likes the Sutton-Kelly-Hield combination down Wellington's left. Yeah, look, I think it's gone well, so why change it if you don't have to? And I think Piper, like you said, utility, he's happy to play anywhere and can do a decent job. He's a physical presence. The one thing the Phoenix do lose, though, is that outlet ball, the ball that can be played, you know, straight from Kelly Hield or Wootton straight up to Corbin Piper to get hold of or to flick on. That's probably gone. But it does mean that somebody like Walker, who can run in beyond, a little bit quicker than Piper, might give the Phoenix something a little bit different. There's the tail of the tape in terms of the last 5 matches for Wellington, just the 1 win in amongst 4 defeats. Sydney unbeaten through their last 5, with 3 wins and a couple of draws. So certainly contrasting form lines. Nice turn by Sutton into space, and he sets off downfield. Corey Holman in hot pursuit, but he's nowhere near him. Sam Sutton into Barbarouses, continues the run to Sutton, but he can't quite hold on to it. Gee, it looks so promising for Wellington. Excellent play from Sam Sutton. What a turn. Plenty of pressure. Had a little check over his shoulder and turned out the right way. It's a decent ball as well. Oh, he's longer boots. So there's green shoots of encouragement for Phoenix fans early in the second half. Sydney FC, though, won't be panicking. As mentioned in the first half, most of their goals this season have come after the break. Certainly plenty of artillery in the front third with Lolly, Segicic, Klimala, Caceres. No Douglas Costa, of course, for Sydney FC at the moment. Hope to see him back at some stage soon. Senna. Frees up Lolly. Looked it on that left foot, will he? No, onto the right foot instead. And good block, although Sam Sutton has come off worst. He's down in the penalty area. And Phoenix are asking for play to be stopped, which it will be now. They just seem to jolt him, the shot from Joe Lolly. And he does not look in great shape at all, Sam Sutton.
Yeah, obviously hurt there, blocking the shot. It looks like an ankle, could be a knee. When you try and block those ones, and it can just tweak your ankle or open up your knee. It's really painful.
It doesn't look good, Piney. It looks like on the landing, as Sam Sutton puts all of his weight onto his left leg, the ankle buckles, and immediately he is reaching for help from a teammate. And the Phoenix bench is up and ready to go. This looks like it will need a replacement immediately. And just on the injuries, the Matt Sheridan substitution at halftime was precautionary, according to Adam Griffiths, as I broke up a conversation between him and Alex Wilkinson. Got to be proactive, sideline, Tiny. Can't always wait for it to come to you.
Very good, Jacob. You just keep doing what you're doing.
I think.
I was patting yourself on the back there, Spoons. Well done.
Well, Mohamed El Tay is being readied. Hopefully this isn't as bad as it appears. And Sam Sutton back up on his feet, but he is going to be helped off, so the change is going to be made. But the angle at which Sam Sutton landed on the grass, turning his ankle inward, it was not a pretty sight. He's going to try and put some weight on it, Sam Sutton, and that's good news. Mo El Tay, meantime, getting some instructions.
They're funny ones, those, Piney, because as bad as it looked, sometimes you can just bounce up and get some weight back into it and it starts to come good.
They are going to make the change, though. They've committed to it, so Mohamed El Tay into the action. His 36th Phoenix game. 18 starts and now 18 off the bench. He's only ever played 90 minutes once for Wellington. Mohamed El Tay is going to get the best part of 40 minutes here. And again, it'll mean a reshuffle of sorts. Lucas Kelly-Hill, I'm sure, will drop back into the left-back position.
Yeah, look, we got there eventually. We talked about it. It might be the change at half-time, but Kelly-Hill goes there and El Tay comes on. So a little change for the Phoenix, but it shouldn't be too alien for them.
Good to see Sam Sutton walking unaided, if rather gingerly. So that's good news for his future involvement this season. Giancarlo Italiano could scarcely afford to lose another player through unavailability. Sydney FC looking to bounce back at Segicic, beaten away by Kelly-Hill, and his brother completes the clearance. Still there for the visitors. They're back to halfway, but again, LB Kelly-Hill stood up tall.
It was a save he'd expect to make, but again, can the Phoenix get more pressure on the ball? Too often Sydney getting opportunities to shoot from distance.
He had a good look at it, didn't he? LB Kelly-Hill from Adrian Segicic, but as you say, perhaps he might have wanted a bit more protection from those in front of him.
I just think it's one of those, if you're allowing that many shots to come in, at some point one's going to, you know, spoon off someone's toe or go misdirected, and then all of a sudden you're 1-0 down after so much good work.
So in terms of productive periods for Wellington, 9 of their 13 goals this season have come in the 15 minutes either side of half-time. It was about this time against Adelaide they scored their goal through Corbin Piper to draw it level at 1-1 that night. Zach de Jesus has now gone down and is hobbling away. Wellington might try and take advantage. Hayden Matthews across as Nathan Walker was approaching, and Zach de Jesus, I think, is going to need some attention now.
Yeah, I don't think Talay's happy at all here. I thought there was a bit more in that challenge. For the Phoenix there, though, that's what you get from Walker, willing to run in behind, and if the ball had been a little bit cuter, he's in behind a back four crossing into the box.
I think Sean Evans let the original challenge go because Sydney FC had the ball, but Zach de Jesus went down pretty quickly afterwards. Here it is.
Oh, look, it's a foul for sure, but I think, like you said, Sydney had the ball, and there was no issue while Sydney had the ball. As soon as it changed hands, I think that's when Talay was off his seat and not happy with the situation.
Yeah, just a knock on the right knee by the looks of it for Zach de Jesus. He's presumably going to be okay to continue, although he's not walking that freely. Talay's obviously got options on his bench to replace de Jesus if required, although it looks as though he will return to the fray. The first goal just feels so important in this game. Sydney FC have won every single time they've gone 1-0 ahead. Wellington haven't lost this season when they've gone 1-0 ahead. De Jesus seems to be okay. Lolly. And to combine with Caceres, Wootton cushions the header sideways, and Lucas Kelly-Heald completes the clearance. Tay in the action. Now Nagasawa looking to free up Walker, who might have drifted into an offside position. We're not going to find out because Sydney have the ball. Nearly, but not quite for Wellington.
Yeah, he just needs to go wider, Walker. Borrow width rather than going the other way. I think he's so insistent in going in behind. He's gone a little early there, and if he goes a little bit wider, he can arc his run and then move in towards the ball.
So Sydney FC have kicked this out so that Zach de Jesus can get some more treatment, I think, and now he's back on his feet. They are going to make the change. They are going to make the change, so Zach de Jesus, no good. Jordan Courtney-Perkins is a ready-made replacement, although he's probably more accustomed to being on the left. But on he'll come Jordan Courtney-Perkins for his 78th A-League appearance. See how they reshuffle things at the back here. Well, Ryan Grant will go across. Willie to play it right back in. Matthews and Courtney-Perkins will team up in central defence for Sydney FC. So both back lines have been rejigged through injury. Barbarousa's trying to get the right side of the newly arrived Courtney-Perkins.
I think for the Phoenix now, they've got to try and get the ball out to Nathan Walker. Let him have a run at Ryan Grant. Ryan Grant's obviously been playing centre-back.
A little bit of confusion in Sydney FC's penalty area there, and Harrison Devonish-Mears eventually clears to touch. Here's Klimala. Segicic roaring up alongside. Towards Lolly. Given now to Ryan Grant. Joe Lolly again, now on the left foot, blocked by Kelly-Heald. Towards Segicic, and calmly Lucas Kelly-Heald will stroke this one away, but it's going to come back from Sydney FC through Holman. Sydney FC looking to probe, find an opening. The passing is slick for the meantime, but Bala Retre's back, giving it away. El Tay, though, flicks it straight to Joel King. Wellington just having trouble clearing their lines just at the moment. Lolly again into Grant. Segicic. Lifted in towards Segicic again. Scott Wootton's there. And that'll go behind for a Wellington corner, scrambling just ever so slightly, Wellington.
Yeah, look, again, Sydney really happy to keep the ball in those little tight areas, play little 1-2s, balls round corners. It's really, really important when the Phoenix get that ball back, look after it. Two or three times there, the ball's broken, and it's little flicks round corners, little no-look passes that are going to nobody. That's going to end up getting the Phoenix in a lot of trouble here.
So Lolly lines up the corner. Away by Wootton. Centre thought about a pass back out to Joe Lolly. Instead, they'll recalibrate out this way through Jordan Courtney Perkins. Now, we've got a man down in the penalty area here, and it's Patrick Klimala by the looks of things. Didn't quite catch the reason for the stoppage. Presumably something during that corner.
Yeah, again, didn't see it by myself. I think must have been going in for the challenge, obviously. Definitely wasn't a head knock. Doesn't look much, but then I said that a minute ago with De Jesus, and he was promptly taken off injured, so it shows you what I know.
Yeah, I think he just jumped and then potentially just landed awkwardly. It didn't seem to be anything untoward from Corbin Piper, who was jumping with him. Looks like he'll be okay to carry on. Patrick Klimala, Ufuk-Talay will certainly hope so. Former under-21 Polish international, Patrick Klimala. Spent time at Celtic and the New York Red Bulls. Had time there alongside former Sydney FC striker Fabio Gomez. He's walking okay, isn't he, Patrick Klimala? So I think he should be okay to resume his involvement, and does. Courtney Perkins. Segicic, he can't control. Just asks Jordan Courtney Perkins what the plan was, I think. So Wellington happy to try and pass it out, although given away there by Hughes. Segicic almost taking advantage. Retre back helping out.
Yeah, again, the Phoenix nearly get themselves in trouble. It's that straight pass in the box. There's only one place it can go, and that's back into the fullback. And I think, you know, Talay knows that, so he'll have had them primed and ready to go. And they're the ones that worry you as a Phoenix player or a Phoenix fan. They've done so much good work tonight, and one little mistake in and around the box, and you're 1-0 down to Sydney, and it's an uphill battle from there.
Well, they're committed to this way of playing, Wellington, regardless of the personnel. Elby Kelly-Heald brought in for maybe not specifically this reason, but partly because he's assured with the ball at his feet. He showed that pretty much in the first hour of this game. Costa Barbarouses has had to feed on scraps a little bit in the second half, and now he frees up Corbin Piper, who uses his first touch to push it a bit far ahead.
If he gets his touch right there, the Phoenix are in an unbelievable spot with bodies running into the box. It could have been a ball just played in behind the back four for runners.
And Corbin Piper's eyes lighting up as he saw the space ahead of him to run into. Couldn't quite get the first touch right. Nagasawa sliding in and winning possession back for Wellington. Barbarouses on towards Ashiga. Courtney Perkins with a robust challenge. That's off Ashiga last, and we'll go behind for a goal kick.
Fantastic pass there from Costa. He knows straight away. He gets his first touch right there in and away.
Appeals for a foul there. Caceres bangs it long. Watched back to Kelly Heald, who has to be careful. Into Joe Lolly. And behind for a goal kick. That could have gone anywhere.
I think Albie will be having a little word with his brother there. Lucas tried a cute little header inside when really I think it's got to be back to the keeper, or back where it's come from. Scott Wotton's not helped either with probably an under-hit pass as well. But Albie off his line nice and sprightly to clear the ball away.
So on the 64-minute mark, Yellow Fever paying tribute to one of their fallen. Neil Duncan, a beloved Phoenix superfan who sadly lost his courageous battle with cancer at the age of 64 recently. Devoted husband to Rachel, proud father of 4. Neil's unwavering support and passion will be greatly missed, but never forgotten. Rest well now, Neil Duncan. Lolly. Straight into Wharton, corner coming, 25 minutes to go.
Yeah, look, I think the Phoenix are going to be under a little bit of pressure for the remainder of this game. If they can see it out and get a 0-0, I think could be the turning point of the season. If they can nick a 1-0, it certainly would be. But there's a lot of work to do between now and the end of the game.
Starting with this corner, which they'll have to defend. And Klimala got a really good look at it. Patrick Klimala, I think he thinks he probably should have done better there.
Oh, it's a fantastic delivery, and I don't know how he's free. Little bit of movement. Oh, he's pushed Scott Wotton in the back. That might have been disallowed if it goes in. 2 hands in the back here. Yeah, there you go. It's nice to get some separation as a centre forward there, but probably use 1 hand rather than 2.
So Wellington have cleared out. They've clearly decided they'll spend some time in Sydney FC's half, even if it's just briefly. Piper, strong aerial presence. Retray plays it back towards Wharton, who in turn gives it to Kelly Heald. And pushed that time from Ryan Grant in the back of Nathan Walker. Very similar to the one by Klimala into Wharton a short time ago.
A little bit more subtlety needed from both parties, I think.
Lucas Kelly Heald trying to set up something down the left-hand side. And Nathan Walker thought he was on the end of a foul there as the challengers are starting to get vigorous. So you can see that there's half of the game being played in that middle third, but a lot more in Wellington's defensive penalty area than at the other end. The score at 0-0. 1 chance is perhaps all that's required.
I think, Piney, this feels more like a game from last year, where the Phoenix look more in control. Even though they haven't got the ball, they look more in control. And Sydney are trying to find a way through, and they're going to take shots from long distance, and the Phoenix are okay with that. Even if it's crosses from wide, the Phoenix feel they can deal with that, and that's very much how they were good last year, in my opinion.
Colvin Piper just unable to control that one. It was the modus operandi, wasn't it, of Giancarlo Italiano last year. Hard to break down, hit teams on the break, pass through a press. When you consider that Sydney FC are the A-League's leading goal scorers, 29. A clean sheet tonight, even if it's just worth a point, would be a confidence booster.
I think if you'd have said to Chiefy before the game, you get to nearly 70 minutes and it's 0-0, I think he'd have taken that, given the run of form they're in.
There's still 20-odd minutes to negotiate, though. Klimala goes down, penalty given.
That is the curse of the commentator there, Pine. I'll talk about nearly 70 minutes. We're not quite there, and this may well go to VAR, but I don't think there'll be enough to overturn it.
So penalty given. Patrick Klimala under challenge, I think, from Isaac Hughes.
It's actually a really smart touch from the centre forward here, taking it away, and it just makes the defender just jump in. Doesn't need to. Oh, gets the ball. In my opinion, he gets enough of the ball there. I hope that VAR are looking at this.
Well, Casey Rybelt is in the VAR booth. Patrick Klimala obviously believes that it's a penalty. Sean Evans is getting Albie Kelly healed, ready to face a penalty.
I think it's the near leg that does get a little bit of body, but he's got enough of a touch on the ball for me.
All right, so I think Sean Evans is going to come over and have a look at this. Casey Rybelt has been in comms with Sean Evans and asked him to come across and have a look. So the big question here is, did Isaac Hughes get enough of the ball for this to be overturned?
As we look at these pictures, Piney, simultaneously the players on the field and the Wellington Phoenix bench went up. They reacted as they saw confirmation of what the players thought on the field, as they went straight to Sean Evans after the call was made. Isaac Hughes standing there believing that VAR will absolve him of the initial decision.
So Sean Evans has had a look and will now let us all know what the decision is.
Field review, Wellington defender clearly plays the ball. My final decision, drop ball.
That's fantastic refereeing there, and the VAR, it came good. I think that was exactly right. We saw it in real time and we thought there was enough of a touch, and the referee has clearly agreed.
Well, it's split-second stuff, isn't it, Jacob? He got the ball, he also at the same time collected Klimala, but ball a split-second first, I think, has saved him.
I think that is what VAR is exactly there for. That is the value of being able to have a second look. No problems with the initial decision. As you say, Piney, in real time it happened very quickly. Equally, the reaction of the Phoenix players, the calmness, they thought that VAR was going to show Sean Evans that Isaac Hughes got a very important, albeit very fine touch on the ball. The system worked here.
Well, Isaac Hughes hasn't had a lot go his way this year, has he, this season? Finally gets one in his favour.
He was certainly due one, Piney. It was nice. He was very calm in the moment. He knew what he'd done, and he backed VAR to get him out of trouble.
So we remain goalless. Can Wellington capitalise on the let-off they've been given rightly by VAR? Segicic and Piper together. Fair challenge, says Sean Evans. Ashiga. Is he pushed by Courtney Perkins? No, says the referee. This one's getting a bit spicy out there. Senna tries to milk a foul off Rectre, doesn't get it. Walker does well to win the ball.
Piney, it is getting spicy down here. Both benches up, thinking they are being denied challenges. Campbell Kirk Kawana Ward's got a lot of work to do being peacekeeper.
Yeah, he'd be a fourth official. You're getting it at both ears, aren't you? Segicic on the end of a robust challenge and a fair one by Rattray. Hughes gets a touch off a Sydney FC player, and Wellington's pressure valve is released ever so slightly. Paulo Rattray playing against the team he represented with such distinction, won 2 A-League championships with. Piper's aerial prowess is on display again. Segicic gets rather ruefully to his feet. Piper helps it down the line towards Ashiga. He can't get hold of it. Here comes Matthews, striding forward with those long legs, dispossessed. Piper thought he got a push, and this time the referee agrees.
Yeah, there's been a period there where the referees just let everything go, and you don't mind that as a player. You know, I think it's the minute that the penalty was given and then taken away, I think it's really lifted things. I think both sides are realising that, you know, one moment is going to change this, and a 1-0 will be enough to get across the line tonight, and it could be a massive 3 points for both sides.
15 minutes to go, all 3 results still on the table. Given away though, and here is Segicic. And Holman, his shot is blocked. Just a little bit sloppy from Wellington passing out. Lolly, Klamala. Wellington clear their lines again. We're into the final 15 minutes of regulation.
Again, smart play from Joe Lolly. He's happy to get himself into that top line, and then he'll just drop off into that inside space and be able to pick the ball up, and then he can go any which way he wants to from that moment.
King. Courtney Perkins back to Devonish Mears. Little dink the way of Joel King. He can't find a teammate. Nagasawa tries to free up Altay. It's end-to-end at the moment. Segicic, Piper stride for stride with him. No shortage of confidence from Segicic right now. Senna. Leo Senna. He goes down. It's in the area. And what's the referee given here? A yellow card for diving, I think.
Yeah, I think he's spot on there, to be honest. I don't think he quite gets there. It was a decent run to start with, and then he's leaning in on his last touch. Yeah, he's looking for contact there. Brilliant from the referee.
So second yellow card of the season for Leo Senna. Both coaches still with changes up their sleeves if required. Walker tries to flick it on towards Barbarousis, and then shuttles between the centre-backs. Wellington just having trouble getting hold of the ball. Segicic trying to thread the needle for Klamala.
It was a decent run there from Klamala. If Segicic gets that right, he's in. Tough ball, though.
Lolly sets off down the right-hand side. Kelly Hill trying to keep up and does pretty well. Lucas Kelly Hill to dispossess Joe Lolly. Help forward towards Barbarousis. We'll keep an eye on the assistant referee. Shot is taken by Costa Barbarousis, and the flag has gone up. Wouldn't have counted. Referee says, let's just carry on.
Yeah, as he was played there, it did look like he got a little bit early. He never really got it under control anyway, and the shot was sort of on the stretch.
But that's the tension my feet downside, like you can see very clearly, the Sydney FC backline is very high. There's a lot of space in behind it, and we've seen it occasions in the second half, particularly from Nathan Walker. A bit too enthusiastic, finding himself in an offside position before the pass comes, but there definitely is space that the Phoenix are looking to exploit as Sydney push for this opener.
Yeah, there's certainly enough pace up there, Spoons, with the likes of Walker, like you said, and Costa. I think if Ishigi's dropping off the line and those two are going beyond, you've got options everywhere.
Change coming for Wellington. Luke Supik is preparing to enter the action. Hideki Ishiga going to make way for Luke Supik, his second appearance of the season, the 18-year-old.
I certainly like this change, Piney. Talking about pace up top, and I was saying about Ishigi dropping, he won't need to now, he's coming off, but Supik, really quick, lots of pace, likes to run in behind, he'll rat around Costa, closing down. Costa's done a hell of a lot of work tonight, trying to halve the pitch on his own. It'd be nice for him to get some help up there with Supik.
Well, that help will arrive shortly, and Costa Barbarouses puts enough pressure on Hayden Matthews to compel him to put it out. Change not quite ready to be made yet as we approach the 80-minute mark, still goalless on Wednesday evening in Wellington. Rattray sees Walker on the far side, rakes a pass over towards him. Ryan Grant's in the way. Elte getting involved. Wharton forward towards Barbarouses. Ishiga's in the area. Ishiga. Courtney Perkins sliding in. Walker deflected behind for a corner, but the flag's up for offside. One count.
Again, it's the timing of the run. Give yourself a little bit more. They've proven time and time again that they're quick enough to get in. It's just a question of how you make your run. Drop off an extra yard and then curve your run a little bit. So, Jaden Kucharski is going to come on for his 50th A-League men's game, the 22-year-old, in place of Adrian Segicic. And for Wellington, as suggested, Luke Supik. There he is in 23, in place of the Japanese striker Hideki Ishiga for the final 10 minutes. Game remains on a knife edge. Little flick by Nagasawa looking for Elte. And this will be a yellow card, I would imagine, for Kazuki Nagasawa. Decent foul to make there, Piney, to be fair. They were on the break and away. With less than 10 minutes to go, probably Tale will be okay with that. Third yellow card of the season for Nagasawa. A win for Sydney would take them into the top three. Desperate to take the points on the occasion of Ufuk Talate's return to Wellington. He was such a popular coach here during his 4 seasons as Phoenix mentor. Supik tackles back and tries to dispossess Senna, who does well on the ground. Kucharski. Holman. Senna rakes it out to Lolly. Lolly onto that left foot, drives it into the area, right by Wooten. Back in by Holman. Bounce doesn't favour Sydney FC. Costa Barbarouses going to try and dribble it out. Piper just puts the right boot to it.
Super just couldn't put a bit of pressure on Matthews there. Grant is pressed by Walker. They're going to go back to Devonish Mears. Foul by Nagasawa on Senna. Who will provide the game's key moment? The game's flash of inspiration, perhaps. Will it be Lolly? Not that time. Kucharski. Caceres. Sydney just patiently probing for an opening. Any more movement on the benches down there? Jacob, substitute still at the disposal of both coaches.
What's noticeable, Tiny, is that Luke Supik has been put into a central position. He's been asked to do a lot of pressing by Chiefy. He was right. Barbarouses has got through a lot of work. Equally, Costa Barbarouses has been shifted down in the hopes that he can get on the ball. As we move towards the 90-minute mark, Piney, the other thing that I would allude the audience to is that the only position or group of positions that the Phoenix don't have a teenager in is now midfield. It's a very young side to close out this one for Giancarlo Italiano.
Here's Lolly. Blast past. Wooten gets it away. Caceres trying to make room for the shot. Little cross back into a crowded penalty area. Klamala with a looping header. No problem for Kelly Hill.
I think the Phoenix have got to be careful here not to leave Joe Lolly 1v1 against Lucas Kelly-Hill, because I think there's only going to be one winner there. Look, Joe Lolly's in great form, and you can see there he just dropped his shoulder. He's so good at going both ways. It's really difficult for any defender to deal with.
Sydney FC have scored 11 goals this season after the 75th minute. They are the competition's late show specialists. Walker comes together with Ryan Grant. 300-odd A-League appearances between the two of them.
You can see Nagasawa there. As soon as he picks up the ball, he wants Walker to make that run in behind, and he's actually having to literally shout to him and give him hand signals to get him beyond.
This is the 50th meeting between these two sides. Luke Supik trying to lob one towards the far post where Walker is. There's only ever been 1-0 draw between these two. In November of 2015, LB Kelly Hill was all the way out and just launches it up into the crowd. Well, tries to, but it stays in field. Lolly. Retro back defending. Composed play from Poto Retro. All the experience of over 200 A-League matches to the fore there. Piper. Perhaps a little bit of inexperience there.
Yeah, tough one. I think Piper's looked up, Costa's gone to make the run, and Piper's looked down to play the pass, and then Costa's put the brakes on, decided it wasn't on.
Another change coming for Ufuk Talay. Patrick Wood's going to get a few minutes. There's Kucharski. Caceres. Caceres again. Lolly on the far side. Joe Lolly couldn't get it out from under his feet. Lucas Kelly-Hill can't stop it from going behind. It'll be a corner.
I think if Joe Lolly had his time again there, he'd have played that straight in with his right foot behind the Phoenix defence, but he's tried to chop back, I think, onto his left foot, and he would have just slid it into the corner. So it's actually really good defending there.
So Lolly's going to take the resulting corner. 2 minutes plus stoppages remaining in Wellington. Lolly, delivery's good, but LB Kelly Heald as assured as he's been all night.
That's exactly what you want from your goalkeeper. With a couple of minutes to go, he's on debut. The ball's been swung in, it's quite close to him. Bodies everywhere. Nice early shout, 2 hands on it, no problem at all.
Yeah, I think he can be pleased with his A-League men's debut. Has previously played for the Phoenix and Australia Cup, but this is his A-League debut. Might still have a bit of work to do, LB Kelly Heald, before the clean sheet can be confirmed. Here's Kucharski. Bit of a heavy touch from Jaden Kucharski, but he's won a free kick in a very dangerous position.
Couldn't really ask for a better position here. You can go either way. Left foot around it, right foot around it. This is going to be difficult. Expect the likes of Joe Lolly, Caceres, Kucharski. There's 4 of them around the ball. I think they'll all fancy their chances from here.
Yeah, no shortage of candidates. Joe Lolly will say, well, I've got 8 goals this season, it's mine. And Adrian Caceres might, Anthony Caceres rather, might take seniority. Jaden Kucharski's only just arrived, but it is his 50th game, so perhaps a milestone for him. I just wonder whether it's Joe Lolly. We're into now what will be a minimum of 6 added minutes at the end of this one. It is Lolly. Radar off from Joe Lolly that time.
And Kelly Heald will be happy to see that one. Nicely put away over the bar.
So Patrick Wood into the action for Patrick Klimala. And Tiago Quintel is also going to take the place of Joe Lolly. So 4 games now against Wellington without scoring for Joe Lolly. Remain to the Phoenix his least favoured opposition. Tiago Quintel going to have the last 5 minutes or so, his 9th appearance of the season, all off the bench. Supic's going to hear after this one. Jordan Courtney-Perkins brings Devonish Mears in. The clearance isn't totally assured, but it did the job. Nagasawa wins it back. Barbaroussis can't defeat Courtney-Perkins with a little ball that he hoped would nick past him. Giancarlo Italiano wants things to get going again quickly. Any goal now surely would be the winner. Corbin Piper lining up a long throw. Dealt with by Sydney, only as far as Nagasawa. Piper is going to draw the foul, is he? And yes, free kick coming. And Corbin Piper's got a few words for Joel King.
Actually, probably a heavy touch there from Corbin Piper, but he's been smart. He's run across the line, and King has to bring him down. Yeah, there's definitely an arm up there. I don't think King really needs to make the challenge, actually. I don't think Piper's getting there.
So there was a rainy night here last season when the now departed Oscar Van Hattem put it on the head of the now departed Finn Sermon to give Wellington a late 1-0 win over Melbourne Victory. Almost an identical position from memory. Kazuki Nagasawa is going to be in charge of this one. Delivery key as always. It's pretty good from Nagasawa. Bouncing around, not cleared. Barbarouses can't get headed towards goal. Hayden Matthews helps it away. Walker can't control it at the first time of asking. Patrick Wood trying to make a nuisance of himself. Falls the way of Wellington though, and Eltay going to bring it forward with the crowd's cheers ringing in his ears. Rattray does really well, frees up Eltay. And towards Kelly Heald, and the attack breaks down momentarily. Eltay's going to haul that one in though. No, we're ready to go. Jaden Kucharski thought he was fouled. No, says the referee. We've had 4 of the extra 6 minutes. Pumped forward by Wootton. Ryan Grant lets it run out. Wellington have kept 3 clean sheets this season, but none since Christmas. They'll be keen to bank that, but what about a potential winning goal at the other end? Flag up against Luke Supik. In fact, it's been 6 games without a clean sheet for Wellington. Into the final minute of the extra 6. Caceres. Is there one more chance? Kucharski. Jaden Kucharski. It's blocked and Kelly Heald will haul that one in. So it looks increasingly likely that LB Kelly Heald will keep a clean sheet on A-League debut, but is there one final paragraph to be written in this game? Nagasawa composed. Supik back to Eltay, out towards Barbarouses. Broken up though, and that might just about be that. Forward by Hughes, and Supik offside.
A couple of opportunities there when the ball's broken down for Supik to get back on side, and he's been caught offside a couple of times, so one for him there to look at in the video in the week.
All square under the Wednesday night lights in Wellington. A much-needed clean sheet for Wellington. Sydney FC's unbeaten run stretches to 6 matches, but they'll take just the 1 point back. And for LB Kelly Heald on debut, forever Phoenix player number 188, and a debut to be proud of. A clean sheet for the youngster. He gets the congratulations of his captain and everybody else as well. It's goalless at full time. Wellington Phoenix 0, Sydney FC 0. So satisfaction, if not elation, from both coaches. They'll take the point away. They'll both be pleased, no doubt, with a clean sheet. Former teammates acquainting themselves with one another. 2 rookie goalkeepers having a chat to one another. Paulo Rattray catching up with former teammate Ryan Grant and others. So Sydney FC will jump into the top 4. They'll go to 21 points, the same number as MacArthur and Western United, but with a better goal difference, or the same goal difference as MacArthur, but more goals scored. So into the top 4 goes Sydney FC. And Wellington will jump above the Mariners. They'll go to 14 points with a better goal difference, so up into 9th place. LB Kelly Heald, well, if you'd said to him before the game, you'll keep a clean sheet, I'm sure he would have taken that in a heartbeat. Joe Lolly, again, unable to score against Wellington.